Hi guys, well that's us safely ensconced in the Travel Lodge at Brisette, which is near Kendal. I've never been to Lake District before and we decided we would stop here en route on the way back home. We had a fantastic cruise, we thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the first time in years, do you agree Jim, that we've had a cruise that we've loved from start to finish?
Yep.
And in fact it reminded us very much of our very first cruise we did with NCL on the Jade. Smaller ship, really friendly staff. The staff were absolutely amazing, each and every one of them, smiling all the time. Nothing was a trouble to them. It was excellent. She's an old girl, the ship, without a doubt. She definitely is. And the cabin was fine. The challenge for me was the bathroom. It was absolutely
challenge for me. I think everybody has a bathroom.
He's going to hate me. Jim looked like a baby in a test tube in this cubicle. It was like, so it was unbelievable. I had to wash at the sink. Honest to God, it was unbelievable. It was tiny, 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 tiny. In fact, if you had a bum like Beyonce, you wouldn't have got on the toilet pan between the shower and the sink. It was a challenge. But they only have 2 accessible cabins on that ship. And this was a very last minute thing we booked, so we were just glad to get on it. As I say, the sailing was great. We had a few problems when we went to Lisbon.
The gangplank was, because of the tide, put on a horrible, absolutely dangerous, for anybody who was in a wheel, even able-bodied people, because there was a gap of about, I would have said, 6 inches, 8 inches at the top of this thing. And then I actually said to them it was dangerous.
It was, and we got off and my heart was in my mouth when I actually got off the thing. And there was a load of building work going on at Lisbon. And of course, if we had remembered watching Peter Hall, you know, Peter from Passion for Cruises, I always watch his YouTubes for his walkabouts if I'm going somewhere. And they're always very informative. And he did say, I'm sure he did say, when you came off the boat, take a left. Anywho, we came off the bus and we saw we saw all this like building work going on. So we went straight across the zebra crossing and then ended up in, it was like gangster land, wasn't it? It was really scary. And cobbly streets and not good pavements. And I just had to take my life in my hands and just go down on my wheels in amongst all the cars because there was no way I could navigate these pavements, and a lot of undulation in the ground because there's obviously a lot of earthquakes and things, so it was really a haphazard. So we gave up the ghost. We thought, oh no, this isn't for us. And did we even have a coffee?
Yes, we did.
We did. We had a coffee.
We found a wee sort of square bit where it had all been redone and everything.
Yeah, and we sat there. And then we noticed the promenade, and then we thought, here, that looks new. So we both were fraught. I was dreading and trying to get back onto the ship, knowing what I'd experienced on the way down. So Lisbon we did not see. We went on to the promenade, fantastic. We had a nice, 15-minute casual stroll back to the ship. Beautiful promenade, fantastic. So I've done a wee video clip for that, which obviously I'll put into this. So if I ever go back again, I know what to do. Take a left, as Peter said, when you come off the ship, and that'll take you straight up into the lovely big square and all that at Lisbon. Lisbon, I think, is one of these places really would benefit from a tour because it's very hilly, very narrow streets. I think it's got trams, in fact the famous tram you said.
Yeah, there is.
And so if you really wanted to see it, I think you'd need to book a tour. But yeah, so we didn't see much of Lisbon. We loved Cadiz. Getting off at Cadiz, that was fantastic. It was, what a city, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did wander about.
Oh, we wandered about there and we absolutely loved it. Yeah, I could spend a few days there, and very friendly, they were very nice. I wanted a frap type coffee. Do you know, could I get one? Same in Lisbon, they kept looking as if I was daft. Anyway, this big guy made me up one with ice cubes and coffee and milk, and it was nice. It's just something I had a wee notion for. Yeah, so with a lovely wee afternoon in Cadiz, we liked that. And getting back off and on that day was easy peasy.
Yeah, we did. What?
I know a lot of it's got to do with the tide when these ships come in. and the port authorities. But you know, when we were at Lisbon, I says we definitely had the cheap seats, because there was NCL, had this beautiful, like, you know, the sort of zigzaggy one you get coming from an airport, from a plane to the terminal. Well, that's what they had, and we just rickety old, as Jim said, take your life in your hands, health and safety, should have been shot. Gangplank, because it wasn't a gangway, it was like walking the gangplank. So I don't know what it is. Maybe the bigger the cruise, they pay more or whatever, and they get better facilities. I don't know. So we loved Cadiz. Where else did we go? Now, we didn't get off at Casablanca because it was just a nightmare. It was just a nightmare. The gangplank wasn't for me. It was like
yes, and also it's in the middle of a container port.
yeah, so
you can't walk.
There's no, that's right, and you have something like quite a distance to go to get to any tour buses or taxis or things.
Well, the thing was the shuttle bus running, which again wasn't
user friendly for accessible.
For any likes of van, etc.
No, that's right. Because they didn't have storage for the chair and the big high steps. One of the ladies came and said to us, her name was Vicky and Robert that we met, and she actually said to us, don't even go on. She says, one, she says, you're taking your life in your hands trying to get off, and she says, two, it's not worth it. Again, I think Casablanca would benefit from a tour, because then you could go to Marrakesh and all these places and do a proper tour with them. Pass my water. Gibraltar. Oh, Gibraltar.
Yeah,
what did we think of Gibraltar?
That was a real letdown, that.
Oh, really? I don't know what I was expecting. It was a very cold day. And we thought, right, we'll go and we'll visit. Cold day. So we got to the sort of square and had a coffee. And then I opened my phone and I was reading some news which just set me off. Oh, it was a bubbling great mess sitting out freezing cold in Gibraltar. Just some of the news I was reading about friends and family that set me off. So Gibraltar, nah, it didn't do it for me. I think I had in my head Malta. I think I was expecting beautiful blonde sandstone architecture and all this kind of thing, and I knew obviously the Rock of Gibraltar. So of course, again, for able-bodied people, there was the caves there, the cable car up the rock, and then there was the monkeys. You wanted to do that, but on the level that we were on, not a lot to do.
You can the pavements and everything was very well adapted.
Yes.
For wheelchair users.
There was that. And the port was right into you were literally only 10 minutes into what they had, the kind of square through the arches. You've got a wee square. Again, Jim did a wee bit of filming for me, so I'll stick that on too. So where else? La Coruna. Again, the gangplank. It was steps. How you're supposed to get down the steps. And the wee guy said to me, oh, look, if you come back at 2 o'clock, we might be going down from level 4 out and it might be better. But I was needing some things from the pharmacy, and we've been to La Coruna before, so I didn't feel that I was missing out so much. And Jim ran off and knew kind of where he was going, and got my business attended to, and then came back. The cruise was very relaxed for us. We did breakfast 3 times, once this morning, once in the Borough Market, and once in the restaurant before. So that's 3 times in total. Lovely breakfast. You couldn't fault the food. The food was excellent. Again, it was reminding me of early NCL days. It was really quality sausages, good sausages. Lovely omelette this morning. We tended to do long lies in the morning because it takes me a wee while to get going. Jim was enjoying the rest, and then we would do lunch and then have a nice wee afternoon. Usually involved a wee siesta for me at some point along the line again, and then it would be getting all organised for dinner. We would do dinner. We had a fantastic waiter, Renee, and wine waiter was I kept getting his name wrong, Suraj. 2 lovely guys, and Yosef, the maitre d', he was a character too. He was very nice. As I say, every one of the staff was nicer than the next, and they couldn't do enough for you. They really seemed to enjoy what they were doing. And then we went to the theatre shows, and I thought, oh, here we go. It'll be that crappy to watch at MSC. It'll be rubbish. Well, were we blown away?
Yeah, really good.
Oh, and the guys and girls have only been together for a couple of weeks, but the standard of the shows they put on was fantastic. We had the songs from the musicals, which involved The Greatest Showman, The Lion King, Les Miserables, One Half a Sixpence. I think that was the four they set in that. We had a kind of a Cirque du Soleil type thing done last night. Again, it wasn't like acrobats, it was more singing. Again, Greatest Showman and quite a lot of other hits. There was the Rock show, which was very good. There was a Nashville show, which was very good. And there was a couple of wee theatre productions as well, which were very good. And then all day long there was various things going on. There was interesting talks. There was plays. There was various things that we didn't attend. We didn't touch half the stuff. Round the ship.
Musicians and different bars.
Oh, it was fantastic. And again, we never saw them all. There was umpteen. Every bar had something going on. You know, you had your violinist, your pianist singer, you had your trio, you had the two guys. I mean, we didn't even get a chance to see half of what was going on. We tended to stay mostly at Angel's Bar, and we occasionally went to the Purple Turtle was our first port of call when we arrived. Met the lovely Siri there, and they make the best margarita on the whole ship in there. And we went there a few times. She was lovely, but we tended to kind of hang about the Angel's Bar and Clifton. Yeah, they do lovely ambassador coffees. It's a Bailey coffee, so we used to enjoy a couple of them in the afternoon, and then we'd go back lying with a book, watch television, loads of movies on the telly, and we've come back desperate to see a movie with Harrison Ford and a dog called Buck, and we think it's called, was that said, The Call of the Wild or something? I tried to Google it this morning. Well, we kept trying to catch it on the TV every time we went back in the afternoon, but it would always be something else on. So that was all free now, and a lot of the other cruises you pay for that. And they were good quality movies. They had the Now and Then, the Prime one, and they had favourites, and then they had all the news channels. So that was a good wee bonus too that you normally pay for. I mean, even the gratuities for what we paid for the gratuities for the ship for what we normally pay. Excellent to think of the value you're getting. We always do extra anyway for the staff that have made our holiday enjoyable. Something for them. But no, they've definitely got it right. Ambassador have got it right. They've got these old ships. They're doing their best with them. But what they're giving you is they're giving you service, quality old-fashioned cruising service like it used to be, quality food, and great entertainment. I mean, what else do you want? And obviously the itineraries. So we were so impressed. We went down and booked one for next year. So we wanted to go from Dundee, but it was very important to me that we get an accessible cabin. And as I say, this particular ship, the Ambition, only has two, so it's very difficult to get. So how we chose our itinerary was by saying to the lad, look, when can I get an accessible cabin? And can I get one from Dundee? And there was none for the whole of next year from Dundee. Sold out completely. So we're now going from Liverpool in April, and I can't remember, we're going round about Belfast and south of France and Guernsey and kind of round about there. So it's a new itinerary I think they're putting on in the 25-26 brochure. So we've got that to look forward to. We don't think driving to Liverpool will be a real problem because Bristol on the way down really wasn't.
No,
it was great.
We did it. Well, we stopped, but we did it 6.5 hours.
We did. And Portishead, where we stayed, was brilliant.
That was really good.
And the Ibis Hotel was, again, very basic, a bit tired looking, but it was clean. Front house staff were incredible. And of course, you'd all round about there, you had your V&M, your Waitrose, your Lidl's, for any last minute stuff you needed. There was a Wetherspoons, which I kept calling the piss pot. It wasn't called that, I can't remember, something like that. I kept calling it the piss pot. We went there for breakfast and for lunch. The two nice restaurants.
Italian restaurants.
Agua was one, I can't remember what the other one was
you
called.
needed a bank loan to get a glass of wine.
What did you pay for the 2 glasses of wine?
About £20.
£20, but was it not a lovely wine?
It was excellent wine.
And it was a good start to the holiday, and we're sitting out there. It was very lovely and sunny that night. We were very lucky with the weather, so we enjoyed that. And that's another thing, the quality of the wines on the ship.
Yeah, they were
We
good.
were impressed with. We tended to stick to the Spanish. It's just because we lived there for all those years, but we enjoyed the red Tempranillo, and we enjoyed the white, and then, I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was a white Rioja or what, but it was beautiful. So between the white and the red, first couple of days you're a bit greedy on the wine, and then you realise, no, you don't have to do this. So I was lucky if I finished a glass of wine with dinner, to be honest. But I would have one. Margaritas were amazing. And then what else did we tend to drink? It would just be brandy and soda. And coffees, specialty coffees.
Yeah.
That was us. You went kind of crazy one night. I went kind of crazy last night. Would you believe it? The night before you're coming home, I decided I wanted to have a party. But anyhow, I think it was the latest we stayed up. We stayed up till what? But
The night, 2 nights before, we stayed up till, I think it was about 12:30.
12:30, 1 o'clock. That's really late for us, because most nights we're back in a room for just after 11. And that's another nice thing they do when you come out the theatre, if you're lucky and sit in the right side of Angel's Bar, because Jim kind of lost a totty, one of the guys last night. They come round with wee trays of canapes, and they're really nice. They're lovely canapes. Excellent. Again, love the quality food. Yeah, so been brilliant. So
really enjoyable.
would I definitely would. I would recommend Ambassador. Would you?
Yeah, definitely.
And if they keep doing what they're doing, these other guys better watch out, because it's great value for money, budget cruising, not for everyone. I'll be honest with you, the demographics of age,
Definitely not.
for the older person. And I kept saying to Jim, I felt we were the young team, you know. Well, I'm 68 and you're nearly 70, so we're no babies. But I felt quite, there's a lot of, even older than us, a lot of people with mobility issues there. There were special toilets and various things dotted about on level 6 next to the theatre. I tended to use that one, and there was another one up on the level 11 where the sort of sun deck and all that was. We only went up there a couple of times to sit and read, but there was a lot of activity up there. There's also a big lounge up there called the Cavern, and that would be where all your sort of nighttime disco-y stuff and party stuff all happened. As I say, after theatre we tended to maybe have one drink. Some nights we didn't, and then just go back to our room and sort of watch a bit of a movie or something like that. But no, we loved it. We really did, and I'm looking forward to going again. So what I'll do, guys, is I will all the wee bits and pieces that I've got, photographs of the food. I did start taking pictures of everything and menus, and then kind of forgot. And then I ran out of storage on my phone. And of course, I'd no internet package to delete. It was alright deleting it, but it just didn't take it off the memory. So I'll put together a wee montage of the pictures of the food, so you can see what we're talking about. And another thing, the plates were always hot. The dinner was always hot. I haven't had that in a cruise for I don't know how long.
Can't remember last time.
No, the plates would be cold, but the food would be tepid. Everything was just perfect. And I don't think I had one bad meal.
No.
The soups were very interesting. All of the soups look pretty much the same. They're very kind of blended soups, pureed soups. And the only soup I kind of took offence to was their version of Cullen skink. It was no more Cullen skink than a wink. It was lovely for you. You could taste it. You could taste the smoked haddock and the potato, but it was just like a, well, you know, Cullen skink's big chunks of lovely smoked fish and chunks of potatoes and things. And Jim's mother made an amazing Cullen skink. So that was the only one, but still ate it. It was still good. And we'd have soup most days, once or twice a day.
Yeah,
Have it for lunch and things for dinner.
Some of the choices were a bit weird and wonderful, to be quite honest.
We were getting educated, weren't we?
We stuck mainly to the cream off
That's right.
type soup.
Because that's the strange thing, you see, at lunchtime, you go and pick your starter. You can pick your starter, and then there's usually soup and the salad and there's various cold meats and various bits and bobs. So Jim would get me parked at my table, which would be very good with a table for two, which was excellent. And that way I wasn't feeling awkward disturbing people with the chair. And Jim would go up and get the starters, and sometimes we'd have a wee side salad as well. And then the guys would come round with the menu, and you'd pick from the menu what your lunch was going to be. And then if you wanted a pudding or anything like that, which we tended not to do, and in the evening it was total silver service in the evening. You were waited on for everything. And as I say, we only did breakfast this morning and one other morning. And again, it's the same sort of thing. You help yourself to cereals, cold meats, cheeses, great array of stuff. Well, Jim tells me, because poor soul, he was away doing it, I just sit and get brought to me.
There's a guy there making omelettes for you, or fried eggs, you know.
Things like that. We had an omelette today and it was gorgeous.
Brilliant.
And the two sausages, and the sausages were great. And the other time we had a breakfast up at the Borough Market, we were going somewhere and we were off early, and we had scrambled egg. And again, they serve you up there, but you go round and they'll serve you, and then you take it to your table up at the Borough Market. We didn't do the grill thing,
No.
so I didn't get to taste any of the hot dogs or anything like that. We knew about the high tea, but as I say, we would do the lunch and an evening meal. So we weren't wanting in the afternoon, but went up yesterday to see it, to taste it, so I could see what it was like, and it's excellent. Couldn't believe what they had. Again, Jim went and got the array of sandwiches, and he said there was all various cakes and things. I'm not a kind of cake person, but he brought me back a wee scone and clotted cream and jam. That was nice. So we tasted that, and you get your own tea and coffee. There was tea and coffee facilities within the cabin, but we never used them. We didn't drink an awful lot of tea. I didn't anyway, and the specialty coffees is what we had at night after dinner. What was the other thing I was going to say there? We were talking about the food. Oh yeah, saffron.
Oh,
wow, what was that like?
brilliant. It was
What did that cost?
it was, I think it was $16.95 a head. And Indian food was absolutely amazing. They do
It was superb.
They do Chinese, a couple of Chinese nights as well in between, but their speciality is Indian. And it's the head, or the chief chef, whatever you want to call him, is Indian. So it's the best of stuff.
It was superb. And they brought out this wee green drink. It looks something at the bottom of a pond. And I'm looking at it, and I said, no, you've got to try it, and you've got to try it. And it tasted very strongly of cumin and all these kind of things. But I think it's a kind of a appetizer and settling for your stomach, you know. Then we went for the Maharaji type thing, which was a big silver platter and all these different wee curries. You'll see it because I took pictures and things. It was just incredible, wasn't it? And then the sweet that came was just to die for. And I looked at this wee cup of tea and I thought, no way am I drinking that. Tea made with like carnation milk, and I thought, oh, come on in, you need to try it. It was gorgeous, wasn't it? And so that I was mad we left that so late to do, because I'd like to have done it again. I would have liked to try the Chinese, and it was only what,
$16.95.
yeah, it wasn't a lot of money. And then Jim had his surf and turf one of the nights, and I wasn't very well. A couple of nights I wasn't very good. A couple of days I wasn't very good. I had to go and kind of lie down. And wasn't great. And I'm looking at this surf and turf and thinking, I could not eat that. But I would have loved the steak.
Beautiful.
He said it was gorgeous.
Lobster was well cooked.
Yeah, and I can
The steak was just perfection.
Yeah, you said. But there was also another restaurant there that we didn't get a chance to try, and I think you can do steaks there, so that's on the tick list for the next time. So anyway, guys, I think that's me pretty much covered everything. Oh, disembarkation this morning, as I say, was a lengthy process because you had to be out your room for 8, and we weren't getting off the ship till 12, so you were kind of hanging about for a good few hours. But when we actually get down, it's just like a big warehouse, really, isn't it? But it was organised enough. We got our bags quickly. A young lady helped you get the bags out, and then it was the performance of you going to go and get the car to bring down.
Yeah.
That was a wee bit kind of chaotic, but not too bad considering the numbers that were involved.
No, I just brought the car forward.
Yeah.
I didn't go into the mainstream of it all. I just,
And they don't do like a lot of the other cruise lines do when you're going, same when we're embarking on the ship. They don't have like a sort of disabled way that you people that are causing all the obstructions like me and whales, that they get you out the road. There was none of that. It's just everybody's, so it gets a bit kind of a, you know, you're terrified you're going to take somebody's heels off your wheels, or you're going to reverse back into somebody. That gets a bit stressful. But on the whole, they handled it really quite well, I think. I definitely would go down to Bristol again. I wouldn't have any qualms about it. We did Southampton, and that is a chore going down there. At a push, if the itinerary was right, I would go to Bristol. But I'm desperate to try one from Dundee. I really, really am. And as I say, Liverpool's not going to be too bad. And we've done Newcastle before. And for us, it's just down the road, you know. So, yeah. So that's the review, guys. As I say, at the end of this, I'll have on some bits of footage, pictures, things like that. If you're still with us and you're still listening to the ramblings of these two old Scottish buddies. But yeah, and if you want to ask me any questions, just pop it in the comments or send me a wee message, and I'll get back to you. I think I've covered everything, so thank you for listening. Nighty night. We're going to go and now have our Marks and Spencer wine and sushi and other wee nice bits and pieces. So,
Bye.
ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye. Right, I pressed that.